who is under more pressure, Tom Brady or Drew Brees?
Well, I definitely think it's Tom Brady. There's no question about that. I mean, the fact of the matter is that Drew Brees is Drew Brees, and he's got to be him, and we understand there's a level of pressure that comes to that. But he's not the one that joined a new team. He's not the 142 going on 43 in August, claiming that he still got it, that he was, his lack of success last season was in part a byproduct of being bereft of the weapons necessary in order to succeed. He's got Mike Evans now. He's got Chris Godwin now. He's got O.J. Howard and Cameron Brake now, and convinced Rob Gronkowski to come out of retirement. This is where Bruce Arians is his coach. Byron Leftwich is his offensive coordinator. This is a top 3 offense that he took over. It's not like they wet the bed. They may have finished 7-9, and Jameis Winston may have thrown 30 interceptions. But the bottom line is he did pass for 5,109 yards, rather. He did throw 33 touchdowns. They were the number 3 offense in points and yards and the number 1 passing attack in terms of yards in the NBA, in the NFL, I'm sorry. So when you take all of those things into consideration, the reality is that Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski is there. They're perceived as being a team, offensively anyway, that has everything else it needs. You join in the NFC South with Matt Ryan and Drew Brees in that conference. You got to handle your business. You chose to go there. More pressure is definitely on Tom Brady.
Nope, more pressure's on Drew Brees. In fact, we already know what's going to happen. Let's say, look, they're underdogs, right? Let's say the Bucs lose to the Saints at New Orleans week 1. You guys can tell me the excuses now. Brady's getting used to the receivers. We saw flashes here. We saw flashes there. It's a new coach. It's a new system. Overall, he didn't look so bad. Brees got to win. Drew Brees can't let Tom Brady come into his house week 1, now in the NFC, and beat him. Look, let's not forget, when last seen on the football field, Tom Brady looked like a nice quarterback. He wasn't elite. He wasn't elite last year, and he didn't look elite. Drew Brees still looked elite. Drew Brees still looked like a top 5-ish quarterback. Brees did, Brady didn't. Brees has continuity with his coach, with his offense. They picked up a good linebacker in the draft and a good offensive lineman in the draft. They picked up Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, right? What's the big problem with the Saints offense? Big problem. They won 13 games last year. The problem with the Saints offense, if you want to nitpick, is they didn't have a legit guy as a number 2 receiver. They got it now. They got the number 1. They got the number 2. They have the running back. They got a tight end. Like, they have everything Drew Brees needs, and he's coming off a 13-win year. The Bucs are coming off a 7-win year. And you can say whatever you want about Jameis Winston's productivity. The fact is, he gave 112 points to the other team, right? And they were 7-9. So Brady, if he improves to 9-7, people will say, oh, they moved him in the right direction, the whole thing. Drew Brees won 13 games. If Tom Brady comes in and the Bucs win the division from the Saints just like that, you act like Drew Brees doesn't have a reputation and standing on the all-time list. Tom Brady actually can play kind of carefree compared to Drew Brees. Week 1. The built-in excuses, the whole thing, Brees got more pressure.
Yeah, look, I think without a doubt it is Tom Brady, and I think it's the difference in the expectations in terms of it's a change of expectations for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The expectations are already set for Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, so that's a pressure that they already know. For Tampa Bay, Tom is supposed to be the difference. He's supposed to be the difference from a macro standpoint. Let's look at it like this. Since the Buccaneers came into the NFL in 1976, they have the worst winning percentage of all NFL franchises. During that same period of time, who has the best winning percentage? The New England Patriots. Who's largely responsible for that? Tom Brady and the program that he just came from. He is expected to bring that kind of winning culture and mentality and be the difference in Tampa Bay. And that is a tremendous change of expectations that's reflected in, just look at their prime time schedule. Now, make it a little bit more micro in terms of really, let's just focus in on Tom Brady. He's supposed to be the difference also in this way. The Buccaneers started 2-6 last year. 2-6. They have to come out of the gates fast. They need to come out of the gates and show. I don't care if offenses typically lag behind defenses or not. They need to show that first and foremost, they are competent. And number 2, Tom has to be the difference in terms of not turning the ball over. 41 turnovers last year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston accounted for, 35 of them? Tom has to show that, number one, I'm not going to turn the football over. Two, I may not match Jameis's output from a pure raw yardage perspective, but I am a much better, let's just say, manager of the game in terms of not being the reason why we lose. So that's why I think when you look at all those different factors in its totality, there's no doubt it's the change in expectations that are squarely being put on Tom Brady's shoulders. That is why he is under more pressure.
Max,
Lewis,
I'll give you the last
hold on
word.
real quick.
Max,
If the Bucs,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If the Bucs win 10 games but come in second, you and everyone else, you know you're going to say they improved 3 games. Tom Brady had a nice season. Brady will say, hey, I'm just getting my feet wet here, and next year I'm going to play till I'm 45, and he will be praised.
False.
They will be lauded. If Drew Brees comes in second place off a 13-win year, people are going False. If Tom Brady wins 10 games,
Max,
the Bucs come in second, that's a bad season. Okay.
Tom didn't go to Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay didn't want Tom to come there to just move them in the right direction. That's not what he's there for. It's not, hey, can you just help us reestablish some things or establish some things for the future for us? The future is now for Tom Brady. He's not going down there to just have some kind of swan song and ride off into the bay on a jet ski and just have a good time and hang out at Derek Jeter's house. He's down there to win football games. They're one of the. We have people on our network saying they are Super Bowl favorites to represent the NFC. That doesn't, to me, sound like someone who's being expected to move them in the right direction. He needs to come out of the gates fast. They have a long stretch before they get to a bye. He has to deliver right now, and it's going to be a grind for them. And he brought his boy down there, and they drafted a right tackle in the first round for him to protect him. So the offensive line's supposed to be better. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are supposed to be otherworldly. Antoine Winfield Jr. is supposed to be a guy who's just another crowning piece on that defense.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.